Like and subscribe for more edit videos. People who lost their jobs by going off on a customer. What is your story? I didn't say this, but I saw it happen. Working at Burger King many years ago, I was working the drive-through register, which was close enough to the front registers that I could hear conversations. One of my co-workers was taking an order from a lady who kept asking how much her total was and then cancelling food on it and changing her mind. I guess she was trying to keep under a certain dollar amount. Well, at the Burger King I worked at, any cancelled food on an order needed a manager's password, thanks to one arsehole who stole money by putting in someone's order, telling them the total, and then cancelling out the order and pocketing the money. So the manager had come by 3 or 4 times at that point. This was during dinner time, mind you, so there was a line of customers out the door waiting to order. Finally, my co-worker pulled out a pad of paper and a calculator. He started writing this woman's order down and totaling it out by hand. The woman asked him why he was doing that, and he told her, "When you make up your mind about what you want, then I'll put it in the register." This pissed off the lady, so she grabbed the notebook and tried to hit my co-worker with it. He snatched it back from her and told her get the fuck out. My manager was only going to write him up for it, since the manager agreed that the lady absolutely deserved it, but my manager had to follow company policy, but he already had 2 write-ups on file, so she had to fire him. Many a year ago I worked at a home improvement store called Menards. I was a cart pusher, which was nice as I was outside all the time. Anyway, we gather about 25 to 30 shopping carts together and push them up to the entrance where they are stored inside. Now to get them there we do have to cross the main drive of the parking lot in front of the store. We always stop and let customers drive by. So as I push the carts up I stop because I see a guy in a pretty nice SUV. He is actually stopped in front of the entrance. Maybe he dropped someone off, I do not know. So I'm waiting to see if he drives off, and he then looks at me and waves me across. Looks like he wanted to finish a call he had gotten or something. So I wave back and start pushing the carts across. I'm on the other side when some clips me across the shoulder blades, and it stung somewhat and pushed me forward. And at the same time I heard glass shatter. I turn around and the guy in the SUV clipped me with his side view mirror. It had swung closed and shattered the window and the door, and I'm just standing there wide-eyed. 2 seconds later the guy gets out of his car swearing up a storm at me and how I'm a low-life piece of shit and how I'm going to pay for a new window and that I'm not going to get anywhere in life because I broke his window. Now I'm the type of person that, if I was the reason, I'll take the blame and fix the problem. But this guy hit me. I blew up on him for about 5 minutes before a manager finally had the guts to come over and pull me away. I didn't have to pay for a new window as it was on video, but I lost my job because we are not supposed to yell and cuss at the customer. A woman came into a charity shop and complained about every single item loudly to the tenor, so customers in there, along the lines of "This is all shit. Who pays for this? Like we are some boutique with clothes from the back of a van." She clearly didn't understand how rarely new clothes, still tagged DTC, are donated. Then she got in my face about it. I was so angry with her for chasing away the people that came in that I lost my cool. There was nobody left except her since she'd ranted them into leaving. I told her to get out and I didn't give a shit about the clothes or her opinions. She screams her way out of the shop, broadcasting it to everyone on the street. She came back once the manager was off their break and complained again, so I lost my job fairly soon after. I can't blame them, I'd have done the same. I used to work at pizza place in a small town when I was a teenager. One night I took a phone order from some idiot woman. It went like this: "Me, thank you for calling pizza place. May I take your order?" Yes, I'd like a large pizza. Half pepperoni, half sausage, and half black olives. Me, okay, did you want the toppings combined or separated? No, I want half pepperoni, half sausage, and half black olives. Me, okay, so you want 1/3 pepperoni, 1/3 sausage, and 1/3 black olives? No, I want half pepperoni, half sausage, and half black olives. Me, I understand the toppings that you want, but I'm not understanding how you want us to put the toppings on your pizza. Do you want them separated by thirds? combined together? Or do you mean put half the amount that we usually put on? What's so hard to understand? I want half pepperoni, half sausage, and half black olives. Me, lady, there's only 2 halves to a pizza. I want to speak to your manager. I got fired on the spot. It was easier for the manager to just hire another person than it was to lose a customer in a small town. Oh, and the lady wanted the toppings divided into thirds. She told the manager the same thing and he just went with her math. The bitch also got it for free. Lost my position at a vet clinic. Story goes like this. Woman brought in her 5-year-old dog that had diarrhea for the past week. Wasn't treated for it. She was tired of the dog messing in the house. So instead of having the dog treated for the condition, she decided she would rather just have the dog put down. I proceeded to call her a dumb bitch while explaining to her the responsibilities that are involved when you decide you want to have a pet. I was fired. I never looked back. I have a speech impediment, and back when I worked at Starbucks, this young African American kid would come in every day after school and order a caramel frap. Every time I told him it would be $3.50, he would laugh uproariously and ask me to say it again. After a few weeks of this, he'd start bringing in his buddies as well. Each one would order the exact same drink, then ask me to keep repeating the price for them again and again. After a few months, I broke down. You boys should know how much the drink is by now. My manager overheard and claimed I was being racist by calling them you boys, even though they were all middle school age. Anyways, I still see the kids around town and they always shout at me, how much are those caramel fraps again? Worked at GameStop as a Gap game advisor. Some guy came in and had a figurative ass load of games, over 100, to trade, all with games and cases mismatched. It took about 45 minutes to process his ticket. When I told him the total, it was low because GameStop and also they were all old, scratched games. This man then proceeded to try negotiate with me, to which I kept telling him I can't change the price, which only made him angrier and louder. Eventually he yelled, "Listen you stupid N-word, I need at least $300 for all of this shit and you're going to give it to me. First of all, I don't even have the ability to change the price at all. Second of all, my coworker proceeded to put all of his games in a bag, walk outside and toss them into the parking lot, and told the guy to take his racist cousin effing ass somewhere else and to F off. Store manager came out of the back room and fired him dead on the spot. The guy stormed out, and the second he left, my manager said, Jesus, what was his fucking problem? Alright, get back to work. My coworker didn't get fired, it was just theatrics for the racist cunt. I felt like an idiot for just standing there, but it was taking everything I had to not hop the counter and hit the guy. My sister was the manager of a women's clothing store. At the time she was dealing with some personal issues regarding depression and anxiety, so she wasn't in the greatest state of mind to begin with. A customer came in with a pair of pants that had ripped along the inner thigh seams, which were well past the return period and had clearly been worn/washed. The customer, who was a larger woman, went off on a sales associate, stating she'd only tried the pants on and that caused the seams to rip, and she wanted a refund. She brought the associate to tears with her ranting, and finally demanded the manager, my sister, enter my C's, and the customer starts yelling at her too. C's promptly tells the customer that her pants split because she was a fucking fat ass. She wouldn't get a fucking refund and to take her fat ass out of the store and never come back. C's then went in the back, called her boss and quit before she could be fired. Her boss actually was willing to let her stay, but she chose to leave anyway until she could get her depression issues under control. Took a solid year, but she's much happier and healthier now. Not me, somehow, but one of my coworkers. She was towards the end of a long day and was the only register open. A customer came through, making lots of special requests and being particularly rude when she tried to insure everything. Coworker had enough, closed her register, moved to the next one over, and asked for the next customer. Like and subscribe for more Reddit videos.